What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Boogie2988 coming at you live once again through the power of the internet. Today I want to talk to you about something a little bit controversial that seems to be trending right now. I know it's going to be controversial. Not everyone's going to like the fact that I picked this topic. Not everyone's going to like what I have to say. But I want to talk to you about bikini streamers, booby streamers, attractive streamers that you'll see on the Twitch TV format as well as here on YouTube these days. Now, yes, I have talked about this topic before in the past, and I'll probably talk about it again. I'm talking about it again right now because it is trending. And every time I do talk about it, of course, YouTube demonetizes these videos. They'll demonetize this, but let's be honest, they demonetize everything these days. But I also get accused of white knighting, which is not what I'm doing here. I'm in favor of any type of online stream. If you want to do some kid-friendly Pokemon unboxings, I do that. That's fine. If people are willing to pay you to do it and watch you do it, I think that's what you should do it. If you want to be a bikini streamer and you want to, show your cleavage and you want to do twerks for donations, I think that's fine too. And even if you want to get up on some sort of adult service and provide some sort of adult service live stream, if people are willing to watch and people are willing to pay, and you're not putting yourself into any danger and you like doing what you're doing, I say do it. Take the money and have fun. Now, there's a lot of arguments to be made against booby streamers, and I'll talk about some of them now. Probably the most common of which is that some women will say, because that woman is doing that and she's highly successful because of it, I feel pressured to do that kind of thing. And I say that you got to stay true to yourself. My audience tries to pressure me to do all kinds of stuff. Take off my shirts and do the truffle shuffle and stuff like that, even making donations, asking for that kind of stuff. But I stay true to myself. And sure, I won't be as successful as the person who maybe chooses to do that kind of thing. But at the end of the day, I can sleep at night. So as long as you're true to yourself, you're going to be fine. And when it comes to the people, giving the audience what they want, being more successful, I think that's definitely true. I can't really relate to what it's like to be a woman who doesn't want to do those kinds of things or to feel that kind of pressure to do that kind of thing. What I can say is that I'm certainly not as attractive as a lot of the male streamers, so I definitely feel like I'm on an uneven playing field there. I'm certainly older than a lot of other streamers, so I'm on an uneven playing field there. I'm not as good at video games. I'm on a pretty uneven playing field, so I don't know what it's like to be a woman, but I feel like I can at least relate. But I think inequality is just part of life. There's some people that are very attractive and some people are not. Some people are very rich and some people who are not. Some people who are very talented and some people who are not. And some people are willing and enjoy doing things that other people won't do. And you've got to figure out what your strengths are and you've got to play to your strengths. For me, it's just being obnoxious on stream. I just make stupid, offensive jokes all the time and have fun doing that. That works for me. You figure out what works for you. Maybe it'll work on the streaming world. Maybe it won't. Maybe you'll go into the STEM fields, or maybe you'll be a teacher, or maybe you'll be in the service industry of some sort. I don't really know, but not everybody's cut out, and not everybody's wanting to do what you need to do to stream. But I don't think you have to be a bikini streamer to be successful on Twitch or YouTube. I think you can just be a male or a female or plays video games and have fun doing it. But that said, it does look like a good number of women these days are choosing to be provocative on their streams. Sometimes it's just very mild, wearing a little bit of cleavage and playing video games. Some girls just set in the IRL category and they just show off their cleavage. Some girls have cameras pointing to specific body parts, their crotches or their butts. Some women twerk or do that kind of thing in exchange for donations and do sexual acts. And these women have found some sort of like middle ground between adult services and more kid-friendly stuff. And here's the thing. As long as Twitch is allowing that kind of thing, as long as YouTube is allowing that kind of thing, I don't really have a problem with it. I don't really consume it. I don't watch that stuff, but I think it's perfectly fine. If it's within the rules set by the website, I think it should be allowed. And I do think that extends to male streamers as well, whether it's Dr. Disrespect playing his character or me swearing every other word while playing a video game and getting very frustrated, or doing, the Francis character on stream and being very provocative that way. Or maybe some good-looking guy who is shirtless, who's an Instagram model, who's doing a workout stream. As long as it's within the terms of services, I got no problem with it. You do you. And apparently Twitch does not mind this kind of thing, because if you take a look at this little screenshot, I pulled this from the IRL category about 30 seconds ago. And there's plenty of women out there showing cleavage. There's even one girl over there in a bikini eating a meal. Who cares? As long as Twitch is okay with it, I'm okay with it. You probably should be too. I do have one major complaint, though, and that is when Twitch enforces its rules in an uneven way. And certainly that's something I've been very critical of here on YouTube. That's something YouTube has been synonymous with for the last few months. So I've been complaining about it here specifically. The Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel thing versus smaller creators and the way they play by a different set of rules. Well, certainly that happens on Twitch as well. There's certainly a perception of Twitch that they treat men a little differently than they treat women on Twitch, because bikini streaming couldn't be considered to be overly sexual, especially with stuff like butt cams and crotch cams and things along that lines, specifically twerking and doing sexual acts in exchange for donations. I think that certainly would skirt that line, but very few women ever get banned for that kind of thing, but a lot of men can get banned for even just weird interpretations of the rules. Now, I don't want to cause any drama here, so I'm not going to name any names, but very recently we had two different streamers talking crap about each other on Twitch during their live streams. One was male and one was female. The female is a bikini streamer, and the male streamer was very critical of that person doing that. And they both shit-talk each other during their streams, which is against the terms of services. It's not something you're supposed to do. Well, the male got banned and the female didn't. And so that kind of thing creates that perception. Certainly, twerking and doing sexual favors in exchange for donations, that's probably considered to be overly sexual, but it's very rarely enforced that way on Twitch. But we've seen the rules against self-harm being twisted in a way that someone got punched on live stream, but because he put himself into a situation where he got punched, that was considered to be self-harm, so that male got banned. That certainly creates that perception. And there's tons of little anecdotal stories like that you'll hear people talk about when they talk about the situation. I don't really know what causes it, but I do think there's some truth to the fact that Twitch treats bikini streamers a little better than they treat everyone else. I think that might very well be the case, and I don't know why. I don't think it's anything like men versus women or anything like that. I think the folks at Twitch just don't mind that kind of content on their service. I think they don't really want to enforce it and scare those people away. I think they probably enjoy that kind of content. I think that might very well be the case, and I think it's probably good for the service as a whole and probably brings them in a good chunk of change as well, so that might be part of it. But that's not something you can blame on the streamers, right? Any streamer that can get away with stuff that's going to make them money on your platform, they're going to do that. That's why you see YouTube and Twitch and all these other different platforms cracking down as much as they are, because people will always push the envelope to maximize profit. That's what they're going to do. You can't blame the streamers. I think you got to blame Twitch. The problem is with Twitch, and Twitch is just not doing good enough of a job of defining its rules and letting people know that. And then a lot of the services like this do that kind of thing. They leave the rules open a little bit so that they are available for human interpretation, not just by the people creating the content or using the service, but also for the people that are enforcing the rules over there. They want to be able to do it on a case-by-case basis. They don't want, somebody who's otherwise just fine, not doing anything wrong, getting banned because they missed a tiny, little letter of the law or the intent. I think they want to be able to look at intent. I think they want to be able to look at a case-by-case scenario. I think they want to be able to look at the quality of the person and the streamer on an individual basis to help make the decision, so they leave this wording kind of vague. And I think that serves them fairly well. I think it does on most platforms, even though it's very frustrating for consumers of the platform. But that, in this one area, I really think they need to tighten up the grip a little bit. Now, I'm not saying that Twitch should ban bikini streamers. In fact, I'm saying the opposite. I think that they should continue to allow them on the service. And I think they should make a statement that says, we don't mind this kind of thing. We actually encourage this kind of thing. And you've seen bikini streamers, you can see compilations of it, where those girls will call out Twitch and say, oh, they told me that's fine. I've talked to people at Twitch. I have friends at Twitch. They're fine with what I do. And if that's the case, then I wish they would be more open about that. Now, I think we've seen a statement, an unwritten statement at this point, because there's plenty of women who have been doing this stuff for months and months and months at a time, and they've done nothing about it. And so certainly that is certainly them allowing it on the service and making a statement that we don't mind. But it would be cool if there was a little written statement that says, we like bikini streamers, we encourage it on the service. And I think that would take a lot of the hate off of the streamers themselves and move the hate where it belongs, to the people providing the service. If there's going to be any hate, I would hope that it would eradicate the hate altogether, but probably not, because people like to hate on the internet. And while you're at it, Twitch, I really would like to see you guys talk about why you enforce the rules the way that you do. I do think you can be very ham-fisted. And while you've treated me very fairly, in my 4 years of streaming or 5 years of streaming on the service, I've made some big mistakes, and you guys have let me away with them. So I'm very grateful for that. Nothing really that broke the terms of services, but still, you guys have been very kind to me. But I wish you were just that kind to everyone else. I really do. It really frustrates me when a bigger streamer, a more open streamer, ends up getting banned, or even one of the smaller guys who makes a minor mistake and they end up getting perma-banned from it. That's just crazy to me. That's just crazy. There really should be someone in charge of bans on your service who's very, very careful and looks at every one of these on a case-by-case scenario. I really think that should be the case. And I think you guys should maybe lighten the load a little bit, lighten up a little bit. We all agree YouTube should as well. So I think it's not too strange of an idea that maybe we wish Twitch would back up a little bit.